This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. I'm Marek Mazurek. Putnam County and the trials and triumphs facing rural schools are now in the spotlight. A new documentary titled North Putnam, produced by Purdue University professor and Putnam County resident Beth Bendix, takes viewers inside the classroom to see the challenges facing students, parents, teachers, and administrators. Those challenges include a lack of funds, a lack of Wi-Fi, and mental health resources.
I wanted to help people see for themselves what the realities and challenges of a rural school district looks like, and particularly how the relationship between our rural schools and the communities that they serve.
Around 1/3 of Indiana schools are classified as rural. The North Putnam documentary aims to be a lesson for all to help bridge the gap in where and how kids learn and the educators teaching them. The former CEO of Richmond City Employees Federal Credit Union was charged last week with 2 counts of bank fraud. According to court documents, Daniel Johnson allegedly falsified loan applications to secure hundreds of thousands of dollars from the credit union for his own personal gain in 2021. Johnson is accused of creating 2 additional member accounts with the credit union to submit fraudulent applications for secured loans, each in the amount of $150,000. Prosecutors say Johnson secured the loans to purchase 2 vehicles that would be used as collateral for the loans, but officials allege Johnson never intended to purchase those cars. Johnson allegedly falsified records to show the credit union's board of directors had approved the loans, which they did not. The alleged scheme resulted in a loss to the credit union of more than $275,000. In 2022, Richmond City Employees Federal Credit Union was placed into conservatorship by the National Credit Union Administration in response to, quote, unsafe and unsound practices at the credit union. It is not clear if the conservatorship move was related to Johnson's alleged actions. The credit union was acquired by Ohio-based Kemba Credit Union in 2023. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
The Pittsboro Town Council has unanimously approved a rezoning request that would allow a data center campus to be built on a 626-acre site in the Hendricks County town. The property is owned by Charles Smith Family Farm, Inc. and is located in the northeast corner of Pittsboro, just north of Interstate 74 and west of County Road 500 East. The site was formerly zoned for agriculture, but Pittsboro leaders annexed the property into the town late last year. On Tuesday night, Pittsboro's town council approved Denver-based Vantage Data Center's rezoning request for the property. Vantage has already submitted plans to the town for a data center campus that would occupy about 285 acres of the 626-acre site. The plan calls for multiple 1- or 2-story structures with facades that look like office buildings. This would be what is known as a co-location site, or a data center with multiple tenants rather than a single user. At last month's Pittsboro Advisory Plan Commission meeting, members of the group voted 4-1 to recommend approval of the rezoning request. Some residents expressed concerns about the kind of commercial development the project might spark, especially since the data center as planned would occupy less than half of the acreage considered for rezoning. A House committee opted on Tuesday to remove an explicit cap on the Healthy Indiana plan, which would restrict enrollment to 500,000 people but keep the controversial work requirements, passing Senate Bill 2 on an 8-4 vote along party lines. The Healthy Indiana plan, which covers the so-called expansion population in Indiana, provides health insurance for moderate-income Hoosiers. Many of the recipients are working, though advocates presented conflicting numbers. Emotions were high throughout the hearing as conservative lawmakers defended the plan to add red tape and bureaucracy to the program against Hoosiers who were worried they'd lose their health coverage. Columbus resident Susan Brackney said, quote, "I just want you to know that I'm not a deadbeat, and if it weren't for the Healthy Indiana plan, I wouldn't be here," end quote. Brackney's chronic autoimmune disorder, rheumatoid arthritis, and treatment-resistant depression meant she qualifies as medically frail, a specialized subset population included under the Healthy Indiana Plan, or HIP. The new bill includes quarterly checks on an enrollee's eligibility, which could disrupt Brackney's coverage because her freelance income is unpredictable month to month. Conservatives touted the wide-ranging proposal as a way to wean off some members and protect the program's accessibility for those who need it most. Many of the proposal's provisions would need to get the approval of the federal government. A creative expert and Pattern Inc. executive director, Polina Osherev, is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.